Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, class. Whoever's watching this is my multimodal project presentation. I'll be doing this presentation to fulfill this requirement for EGS 301. And essentially, this presentation will be directed towards individuals interested in conflict analysis, international relations, international law, and political science students, undergraduate or graduate. I think that this is something that is very important that anyone interested in foreign policy or just world politics in general should have knowledge of the conflicts that are currently taking place, knowledge of where they're taking place, how long they're taking place, and why they're taking place. Most importantly, all of these things are important aspects of conflict analysis and knowledge that you must know in order to fight conflicts. If we want to tackle conflict and prevent conflicts from taking place, we must know why conflicts are occurring in the first place. So, as the saying goes, history always repeats itself. So, we are trying to make sure that history does not repeat itself. So, the conflict that we will be analyzing today, just talking about briefly, is the Sahel crisis, the complex problem of the Sahel crisis, and then tackling what the Sahel crisis is exactly, where it's taking place, and going on to see what different types of options can be taken in order to mitigate this conflict and this crisis. So, a quick table of contents, a quick introduction, and then we will be talking about the location of the Sahel, different complex problems that arise or are directly related to this conflict, some key challenges, enhanced security measures, addressing root causes, and then a brief conclusion. So, a quick introduction. The Sahel is a region in West Africa. It actually starts in West Africa and spreads all the way up until East Africa. As you see on the picture right now, it's a very arid region, very dry desert. Also, right next to the Sahara Desert, but they are not the same thing. Unlike common misconceptions, people think that the Sahel and the Sahara Desert are the same thing, but they are not. And countries in the Sahel include Mali, Niger, Chad, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, and others. Those are just the more West African, countries. However, it, as I said earlier, extends to Sudan and other East African countries. So, still on the location of the Sahel, it is actually approximately 5,400 kilometers, and it does lie between the Sahara Desert. However, it is not the Sahara Desert, right? As I clarified earlier. And this quick map shows you actually how it ends in Eritrea, right? So it's a huge, very vast region. And of course, Africa being the second largest continent in the world after Asia, you can only imagine how large the Sahel region is, in fact. So, complex problems of conflict, right? So, the Sahel region, for a long time now, has faced many various different conflicts in the sense of various non-state actors and various insurgencies taking place, as well as ethnic tensions, political instability, economic struggles, and environmental challenges. Because if we look at a lot of the countries located in the Sahel, a lot of them have undergone political instability in the form of coups, which are overthrows by the military, where the military comes in and overthrows the government, as well as economic struggles and environmental challenges, of course, as being located in a very arid region of the world. Factors such as poverty, weak governance, and competition over resources also um, contribute to the conflict and its persisting stage. So, in recent years, actually, the rise of extremist groups has further exacerbated the situation. When we talk about extremist groups in the Sahel, there is, a never-ending list almost of groups that are present. However, the most popular of these are ISIS, Boko Haram, which is the, I guess, Nigerian offshoot of ISIS, different terrorist groups in Mali, the Ajawad movement in northern Mali. So there's a lot of different organizations and non-state actors who are trying to, take over and take power in various different pockets of the Sahel, which has led to a lot of instability within the region. So some key challenges that have rose from this instability are there's a lot of ethnic and tribal tensions. As we know, Africa is a place with various ethnicities and various tribes. The Sahel is not different. The Sahel is home to many different tribes, and a lot of the times these tribes are located in areas where it is not exactly the most feasibly located or most adequately located place. I mean, sorry. And like I said earlier, political instability and weak governance, environmental degradation, and climate change. As we know, the desert is ever expanding, slowly getting bigger and bigger, as well as the spread of extremist groups and terrorism. So, some of the root causes, briefly, of this uh, uh, conflict, I guess, would be some of the root causes. I mean, in terms of rectifying this conflict, would be promoting good governance, right? So that is something very important. A root cause that needs to be championed more, promoting good governance, local governance, as well as state governance. As we see, political instability is a huge thing. Also, supporting economic development initiatives. As a region that is very economically unstable, it is important for the economy to be supported and developed in order for the people to thrive, and protecting the environment, combating climate change. So that's one of the most important aspects of yeah, of attacking this complex problem. And in conclusion, I would say that the Sahel and the conflict that is located within it is a very complex, multifaceted problem. That this was just a brief summary of the conflict, or as to why it exists and possible solutions and possible remedies for it. However, it requires a very comprehensive approach because we're talking about various countries. The Sahel region is not just one country, and we're talking about various conflicts as well. So, by addressing the root causes of the conflict and implementing sustainable solutions, we can work towards a more stable and prosperous future for the Sahel region and the people that live within it. A quick reference list of peer-reviewed sources that we have taken this information from: Al Jazeera, as well as the um, International Crisis Group, which is a major organization that follows conflicts and reports on conflicts and their development, and also provides resources in terms of possible solutions to different conflicts. So that will be all for today. I hope this short video was beneficial and you learned about the Sahel, where it is, and what's going on there, just at least a little bit. And hopefully, we can all come together and enact change in our own communities, and starting off by educating each other in terms of what's going on in the world. Thank you.